right there, but supposedly there is a power line.
All right. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Let's crank it up. All right, we're going to come to order and begin with an invocation and pledge. This is Coastal Zone Management for July 11th, and if you'll rise, please. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for this wonderful day and the opportunity to be here and work together. Please keep us mindful of your presence as we undertake our business today. In the name of your Son, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Would you call roll, please?
Ernie Babbitt.
Here.
Bobby Bartel.
Here.
Matt Benoit. Jeff W.
Here.
Jan Rogers.
Here.
Barry Soudier.
Here.
Nikki Thomas.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Our first order of business is the minutes from the prior meeting, June 6th.
I move.
Motion by Barry,
Second.
second by Jan. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Under new businesses, Mark, we'll turn that over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This loaded? All right. First item, local concerns. American Towers LLC, the public notice is ended on this. This location is down in Chauvin, a little isolated site. This has been on the agenda before. What they're doing is they're replacing an old tower that had guy wires with a self-supporting tower on the same site. There are some wetland impacts. Let me run through this because you've already seen this stuff. The recommendation is to hold until next month pending payment of the required mitigation for permanent impacts to 1.16 acres of brackish marsh habitat. And the cost is $11,019.40. So that letter has been sent, and I think it's in your packet. A letter has been sent to the agent for American Towers. And as soon as we get confirmation that it's been paid, the permit can be issued. I think the Corps is is okay with this. We had an email to that effect from them, so that's good news. There shouldn't be double mitigation involved.
We acted on this prior, subject to?
No, I would hold this. It'll be on the agenda again when we receive notice that the mitigation's been paid, then we can issue the permit. But
Motion we table it till next.
Table it, yeah.
Meeting pending payment of mitigation.
Motion by Ernie, second by,
Question, is the tower down now? The one that's been there?
No, it's not
Still operational?
down there. I don't know that it's operational because some of the guy wires are down, but they're gonna remove all the wires and the support brackets that were in the marsh. Actually, their footprint's gonna be smaller, however, they've done some things on that site to impact more brackish marsh. So, and we're using their numbers, and I've been out there, but we're using their numbers, and that's what, based on the WBA that I did and with DNR, this is what they're looking at.
The only comment I have is, if the tower's not working now and we're holding them up another month or so, if they were gonna work on that thing, and you have a storm coming.
They could go out there and work on it now, but they're gonna have to pay the mitigation in order to get the permit. That's, nothing I can do about that.
Okay.
all right, so we have a motion, second, further discussion. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, Mark, next item.
Alright. Next item, Mr. Tim Fongi, I have been out to his site. He provided drawings such as you see here. I went out to that site with Rod Pierce of DNR, and honestly, we cannot tell what he wants to do, what he has been done. It was in 2017, he had a permit for a 330-foot bulkhead, which I believe he built, but you can't find that bulkhead now. It looks like it's all been covered over. And there is a letter in your packet that was sent to Mr. Fongi. We're gonna hold this till we receive his permit redone and payment. And if we don't receive it soon, I'm gonna have to turn this over to enforcement. That seems to be the only way we can get action with him. So it's unfortunate because the site has grown incrementally over the years without a permit, and he's impacting marsh like you wouldn't believe. So just table it, hold it over, do it, whatever.
Okay, is there a motion?
A motion on table.
Second.
Gary, Jan beat you to it.
Yeah.
Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Mark.
All right, next item, Mr. Glenn Preston back is proposing a fish pond. It's actually a little 8-acre borrow pit on Bayou Gardens Boulevard. The public notice ended today on it. This is where it's located. Red's not showing up, but it's on Bayou Gardens Boulevard, the 1731. There is a pipeline that runs through that site. You can see it here better in red. It's only a little over 8 acres. Now, the thing about this, there's no access shown to Bayou Gardens. And there's no other way to get there except Bayou Gardens, and I do not want that pipeline used as access. So I'd recommend a local coastal use permit with the following conditions. A 100-foot buffer from the road right of way and from the property line. A 50-foot buffer from the pipeline that's shown on the map and cannot use the pipeline for access to the site. I need a plat showing access to Bayou Gardens Boulevard. And since they're gonna be using Bayou Gardens Boulevard for in and out of that site, we gotta keep mud and debris clear on Bayou Gardens within a half a mile of that access road. They gotta follow all state and local signing requirements. There'll be trucks in and out of there, and that could be a problem. So Mr. Preston back is in the audience if anybody has any questions for him.
Would you come up and?
Go back to your map, Martin. Go back to your map.
Okay,
If you see between the pipeline on the Bayou Gardens side and the property line, that's approximately 200 feet right there. And I was gonna drop a culvert in there for access. I wasn't planning on using the pipeline. Because even if I wanted to, I don't think the pipeline would agree with that either.
No, it wouldn't. Well, and my recommendation is to give us a plat showing that access point and how you propose to do it. Now, putting a culvert there is probably gonna require a letter of no objection from, the Public Works Department.
Yeah,
Okay, looks doable, huh?
yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
Doable, okay.
So in the back part, that's your property line all the way around, even on the north side there?
Yeah.
That's right up against your property line?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where he was marking how far to stay from the property line. You just need to revise your plat showing those, that you're not digging right to the property line. Even though,
Gotta have a little buffer, 50-foot buffer.
Yeah, well, I wasn't digging, there's actually a levee that goes around the property, and I
Yeah.
was leaving the levee.
right, and that's all you gotta do is show that on the plat. That way it
I
shows,
thought I did.
it shows this crosshatch just going right up to the, property line.
Okay.
That's just what you just need to put the little notes on there saying that you're gonna stop 50 foot or whatever from the property line. And you could put existing levee like on your plat.
Okay.
That way it's noted.
Well, actually, the back levee,
And that would
there
look like
is
it
like
goes
a
into the ditch.
40-foot buffer where the levee is, that
Mhm.
was gonna stay.
Yeah,
It's only digging inside the levee
right.
up to 200 feet from the road.
Yeah. And all you need is the notes. Take that plat and put the notes on there.
And I'll
Pretty-
send that to Ms. Summers.
Send it to me, or, yeah, it can go to, Ms. Summers, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Preston.
thank you, sir.
Is there a motion on this item?
I move.
Motion by Barry,
Second.
second by Jan. Jan's fast to the gun today.
And that's with the stipulation.
Yeah, he
With the
put,
recommendations of
yeah,
that.
he put the,
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right. Next
All
up.
right, and the next one, the Harry Bird Corporation, a proposed borrow pit. In public notice period ends on the 18th of this month. This area is located between 4 Point Road, Bayou Sally Road. Now, there are a lot of wetlands in there, but there was a JD done, so they know where those wetlands are. Let's see. That's a location. This is their profile for digging. These are, I'm recommending a local coastal use permit with the following conditions. They have got to stay within the upland areas as shown on the map. If they start impacting wetlands, that's get into a problem area. They gotta show a plat providing the access points to 4 Point Road and Bayou Sally Road. That is not clear from the material we sent, so I don't know how he's getting in there. He's gotta keep the roadway on both sides, if he's gonna access both sides, free of mud and dirt within a half mile of the access roads, and he's gotta follow all state and local signage requirements, trucks entering the highway, that kind of thing. So that's my recommendation, Mr. Chairman.
So,
Go back to the map.
yeah, I was just,
Again? Yeah, that one.
so I believe that, that's probably 100% of their property from the roads all the way inside. But it probably should tell us that on there, just to notice that there's no other lots or anything coming from the road. I'm pretty sure that's 100% all Harry
It
Bird
is,
property.
Yeah, and there's an existing dirt pit out there already.
Yeah, I see one of the pits right there, so.
There's actually several.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Gentlemen,
I mean, when everything you have on your thing is good. I mean,
is that a
Yeah, I-
motion?
You making a motion?
I can make a motion and then modify the plat, just showing the access, all the comments that you have, and note that it's all their property.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second by Bobby. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. It is a dilemma that we continue to dig out to make levees, but it's got a bowl inside, but
It
it
is.
is what it is.
All right,
We're gonna have levees and we're gonna have ponds.
the next one, P 2023-049.
Next.
We just did that one, sorry. All right, we're doing this one, proposed borrow pit at approximately 1168 Crochettville Road in Montague. Public notice ends July 25th. That's the location. It's actually where Crochettville Road, the paved part ends at about Crochet Court roughly. The rest of it is aggregate and it's narrow. It's a beautiful piece of property.
It's right across from that.
So
Mm.
I got them to modify the excavation drawings. They had a 1-on-1. It needed to be a 1-on-2, and they provided that drawing. I'm recommending a local coastal use permit with the following conditions. They've got to keep the roadway free of mud and dirt within a half mile of the access point. That's primarily going to be on the paved part of Crochettville Road, heading north. They got to follow all state and local signage requirements for that kind of thing. Due to the narrowness of Crochettville Road and the aggregate paving at the location, the applicant will be responsible for repairing any damage to roadside drainage ditches due to heavy equipment. And there's a good chance that that's going to happen because the narrowness of the road right there. So they need to be aware of that we're going to make them responsible for that.
About the
about-
responsibility of fixing Crochettville Road after they pass their heavy equipment and ruin it for good.
We can do that after that ordinance is passed.
What is the setback on the excavation from the roads?
That was the next question I had too.
Um,
So we have,
They don't
we have,
show.
there's a road and a ditch, right? There's a ditch on the side road? I haven't been there.
Ditch on each side of the road.
Ditch on each side of the road. So it doesn't say how close they're building. Same situation we had there earlier, so it,
Yeah, there is a setback. It's not specified, but I think it should be from the property line at least 50 feet. And we can add that as a condition to it.
yeah, I would say so. It shows the access road there, so. I mean,
Yeah, he does have the access road, but he's got to get into the site, so he needs 50 feet along the property line, which is probably the fence line.
And then I guess I'm looking at the north end of the property, the south end, south or north is to make sure he's not going right up against the property lines. Same thing. I mean, we don't know if that's a property line or not.
I think it's his property. I
All,
think.
everything?
Yeah, I think it is,
100%.
yeah. I think his property
Just
actually.
specified, it's gotta be 50 feet from a property line, and if it
Yeah.
is, cause it's his own property, that's great.
Yeah, I would just add that to your note all the way around.
Add that to your motion.
Is all of this dirt going to finish up the levee system that we have right now?
All going to levies at one
What
point or
is it, to
another.
finish the system that we
We're
have?
never gonna be finished.
My
Yeah.
question is, I mean, if the Corps of Engineers comes and start doing these levees, you're gonna have twice as much dirt as what we put in there, is what you're gonna need.
Like I said, Bobby.
Where you gonna get it from?
We'll never finish the levies in this parish.
Land keeps sinking.
Yeah.
So you made a motion?
No, I didn't make a motion yet, but, go back to your stipulations again that you had right
Right.
before. So
Just add the setback from the
Subject
property
to-
lines of
Yeah,
50
from-
50 feet.
50 feet, make a motion to approve with, adding 50 feet to the roadway side and any property lines surrounding, the proposed project.
And
I'll
it's,
make a
if it's his
second.
property, if it's all his property, it's a moot point except for the
Yeah, if it's
road.
his property, it's a moot
You wanna
point.
do the second?
Correct.
Alright, I'll make a second. I'll second.
Jeff, second by Bobby, discussion,
I'll do that.
you good? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There are no state concerns and we had no consistency determination, so that's all I have.
All right, next item is subcommittee reports, Ernie.
The subcommittee did not meet in June, and next meeting will be announced at the time required.
Yeah, my guess is it'll be in February of 2024. Unless there's something that comes up, we got to meet before, so.
All right, your report, Mr. Martin.
All right, Mr. Chairman, Director's Report, we're just gonna skip through it here, turn to page 2. The Elliott Jones Pump Station, the ribbon cutting was previously scheduled for June 29th, had to be canceled, no new date is set, but we'll make sure you're in the loop on that. The Island Road Marsh Creation Project is getting closer to beginning. Noah's got to get a grant from CPRA and finish the partial surveys to verify site conditions, finish the 100% design, and that survey should be completed soon. They expect construction to get underway in 2024. On the increase the Chapelaya flow, TE 110, the 30% design draft has been received by and is under review by CPRA. They're going to execute contracts with 3 local pilots for some navigation simulation, but apparently that's taken longer than they expected. Anyway, they expect some results on the sedimentation model production to be available or completed by mid-July. On TE 156 and 166, that's the Bay Rockersy Marsh Creation and Ridge Restoration Projects, increments 1 and 2, take them together. The 30% design meeting was held on June 5th. The federal comments received on the 20th. The 95% design meeting for this project, well, actually, both projects is expected in October of this year. Turn to page 3. The Bayou DeLarge Ridge and Marsh Creation Project, TE 170. The construction permit application has been submitted to the Corps, and construction plans and specs are in development, with the start of construction expected about this time next year. They got some oyster lease acquisitions to take care of, and that is expected to be completed this month. At the bottom of the page, I met with for that workforce development program that was grant funded at Fletcher. Met with the new STEM director, and we're gearing up to restart that program in the fall, in September, and it looks like we're in decent shape with that. On page 5, the Terrebonne Basin Ridge and Marsh Creation Project, the TE 139, is the CPRA legal team has been working with ConocoPhillips and Apache. They're getting closer to agreement on language for the servitude agreement. The land rights are still held up with Abear Land and Farm, and I don't know if they're ever going to resolve that. The design team is working to update cost estimates for the project based on the latest bids received by CPRA in light of inflation and rising costs. That cost of that project is probably going to go up. It's funded through NERDA, fortunately, but there's no new date been set for the bid advertisement. On page 5, good news on the Hollywood Road Extension Bridge over Bayou Black. That is a restore project. Council has authorized the parish president to execute the contract with Sea Level, and Sea Level has the contract. They just need to get it back to us so I can get it to Treasury. Treasury's got to review it, make sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, so that they will tell us, okay, you can issue the notice to proceed. That will be a big day for the parish president when that happens. Another thing at the bottom of page 6, for the PPL projects, you know, there were 2 of them in our basin. One in Terrebonne Parish, that was the Karen Crow Bayou Diversion Project that is being worked on by NRCS, but for LL&E, Ducks Unlimited has a project, submitted a coastal use permit application for a project designed to restore 8 breaches and approximately 10 miles of natural ridge habitat in Terrebonne Parish. And I believe that map and information is in your packet. I have been in contact with NRCS. They're good with it. There's some synergies there, and I think that will work out very well. On page 7, the coastal use permits for the month of June, we had a total of 7 and only collected $1,700, unfortunately. For the year, about 22.1. Resolutions on that same page, and ordinances, the borrow pit ordinance, which is amendment to chapter 12, to adopt section 12-75 is attached. The council is taking that up tomorrow. There'll be a public hearing and hopefully adoption. So as soon as the parish president signs it, we're in business.
Talk to the council people, or
It flew through the committee with no problems. So I don't think, and I was there at that committee meeting, I don't think there's gonna be any issues with it. I'll be at the meeting tomorrow night just to make sure. The 3 field inspections were done. The letter to Tim Fungi is attached. And I apologize for the meetings attended. I got the May meetings there instead of June that were attended. There were 18 meetings I went to in June, including a court appearance on a public records request. Did 2 field inspections. Of course, we had Coastal Day on June 15th. I met with the new St. Mary Parish CAO, who is kind of like my counterpart. And I had a good relationship with the former CAO, who's running for that Senate seat over there. And I met with John Paul Berg about cooperation on QIPRA, because there's some, they've got things, we've got things, want to make sure we get our projects into the next level. So that worked out. Then on the upcoming meetings, there's a bunch of them here. As I mentioned, the borrow pit ordinance is coming up tomorrow for hearing. On the last page, on 8, the semi-annual report to Treasury Office of Civil Rights and Diversity. We submitted the report on time, June 30th, and we've got to do another one at the end of this year. All the project performance reporting and the federal financial reporting for our 2 restore projects have been submitted, and we stay on top of that. And so the letter that went out to American Towers is in here, the letter to Fungi, and everything else that's in there. So, any questions, Mr. Chairman?
Question? Borrow pit ordinance?
Yeah,
Here
it should
tomorrow,
be
right?
attached. It's tomorrow
Yeah.
night
I'm gonna make
for
sure
the
everybody knew it
public
was in
hearing
there.
and final adoption.
can you let us know how that vote goes tomorrow night?
Maybe just email us.
Yeah, email us Thursday.
I still got Facebook, y'all can watch it on Facebook.
I don't play that.
Well, I mean,
Look at faces.
Face page.
I call it Spacebook,
well,
and it's ruining the world, so.
I just look at it just to see what's going on.
Your entertainment value, huh, Barry?
All right, next item is public comments. Connie?
I'm good.
And then comments from committee members? Jane, Barry, Ernie?
I did attend Coastal Day also. It was well representative, all the equipment and contractors working, and political figures were all there, and a few accolations went to the parish president and the outgoing director. So it was a nice program.
Good.
Got a good turnout for sure.
A good program. Bobby?
Nope.
Good. Jeff? Anything coming up?
Only thing I had was, I was just looking, they put out, the Gulf Intercoastal Canal Association put out a directive saying that the bridge will not be able to open in Bayou Blue until further notice, whichever that is, because the power's out, so I don't know. Anybody in the marine business, that's a mess.
And if y'all plan to go down Robinson Canal, maybe in a week or 2, they're gonna be pulling that bridge out. They're starting to mobilize the equipment already. I don't know exactly when they're gonna start pulling the bridge out.
That's a good point, Barry. And we talked to DOTD about that. Because if for some reason, the bridge that's just north of there, that's at,
Woodrow Canal,
Boudreaux Canal, if there's a problem at that bridge, you got a lot of people that are trapped down there. The people between the two bridges can't get out. So they've been put on notice about that. So we gotta be, careful, vigilant.
How long-
Anybody south of Robinson can get out by
right,
Sally
by
Road.
Sally Road.
But if you're between the two bridges and there's something wrong with,
Tell you
How
what,
long it's gonna be out?
I'm hearing
Canal
different-
Bridge ain't defining a situation.
if those 18-wheeler drivers would go past over in a boat under that Woodrow Canal Bridge and look up, they wouldn't pass over that no more. You see daylight through some of them beams. And,
those bridges are old.
oh yeah,
They're old.
And we got a lot of bridges out too. And
Well-
if you're trying to get across, but I guess that's the Bouquet Bridge in Dulac. It's
Yeah.
out
that one's out.
on the
And they're
east
doing
side of the
something
pontoon
at,
bridge. That one,
Doing something at the Bobtown Bridge, I believe, huh?
I think
One
so.
lane traffic on
Yeah.
there? Of course, you can't get two cars on there and go in opposite directions anyway.
No.
yeah.
If you're not in the meeting, can I say something about the Robinson Canal Bridge? Do y'all know how
Sure.
much they charging? The budget is on that bridge? $7 million.
Talk
That
about-
is what the state is saying is costed to change the
Right.
Robinson Canal Bridge. That has no mechanical parts in it.
I'm sure it all
I
went out
don't know-
to
I
bid
don't know
though.
what
Big,
the
long
one is in
pylon, though.
Berg. I don't know what the bridge is in Berg, but it's,
Oh,
Oh, no, this is the Robinson Canal.
yeah, I know
Bridge.
what you're talking about, but the one in Berg gotta
Yeah.
be way up there.
It only costs 10 million to build the twin spans
I
in
bet it's
Houma.
30.
Yeah.
It's costing 7 for that Robinson Canal Bridge, and they're saying it's probably gonna be out for almost a year.
I did have one more thing, Mickey, I thought about.
go ahead, Jeff.
So, just another check. I know we talked about it way back, but I cross-linked the CAD the other day, and we still have the beacons on both sides. I don't know. We'll maybe just check into that to see if if that's the parish's responsibility or
I think it's Coast Guard.
or who it is, and if it is, we probably need to contact them. Actually, both lights are out now, so.
And there are definitely navigation hazards. The one on the east side for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely navigation.
Definitely
Somebody
need to
been
get
killed
that
there
fixed
already.
before
So
duck season.
the beacons are out.
There is no beacon on either one now. There used to be blinking red lights on there, and some reason I was thinking.
Yeah, there were 4-second lights, right?
Oh, I mean, there was something about the parish had something to do with it, but I don't know.
I don't think the parish can do navigation.
No, but I think there was something that was that way back in the day.
Just somebody did it.
Way
Yeah,
back in the
I
day.
agree with you. I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Dad had something
Anything
to do
else?
with it.
No, no, man.
Motion to adjourn.
Yep, motion adjourned.
Oh, yeah, don't miss it.
Yeah.
Bobby and Jan, all in favor?
Bullseye on it.
We are
That's it.
adjourned.
As soon as you hand it to it, man, you gotta
Yeah.
jump in.
No, he,
You got another
the
meeting.
president asked. That's crazy, all this digging and all this dirt.
Oh, isn't that part of the public meeting?
But I'm saying,
Yeah, yeah.
because they going up, what are they all right now? 13 feet,
Oh, yeah, no,
They're
no.
all coming back. They're going 20 foot.
Hello?
Where they gonna get the dirt?